describing the lesion, but I want to go all the way through the skin, and there it is. That's the dermis. That's the layer underneath your skin. We've taken the core of this lesion out completely. The next ones will be smaller. They won't be as severe. So now I'm going to clean you up, throw a Band-Aid on, and you're good to go. And here's our 3 little mice.
Well, Joni's here beside me. That's what I always thought, that hurt.
But will you be good to go?
Just a little pinching. But before, I mean, it feels like you have to rock to go
after a little treatment, a little pinching.
Well, you have sweat glands everywhere in
like
your
you got
body,
a rock in
particularly
your shoe.
on the bottom of your hands, the bottom of your feet, and under your arms. And in the foot, it's a disadvantage because you're putting pressure on that area, and that skin's very thick. So what happens is they get jammed and they get plugged, and the skin constantly replaces itself, right? It exfoliates constantly. Well, if that's not exfoliating properly, then that pore gets plugged and it can build up on itself. You know, there are people that are predisposed to this. So we have the female population because of shoes, because of high-heeled shoes putting pressure on the front of the foot. A certain kind of shoe, let's say you're in construction, you're wearing a certain kind of shoe all day, every day, that'll put pressure and cause plugging and then actual structural problems. That's why, it's important to see a podiatrist, because if you have pressure in an area and you're not aware of it, you're going to get more and more of these plugs.
And the only way to get rid of them is you have to remove the entire plug, otherwise it'll come back?
Yeah, there's a variety of treatments. Some doctors will freeze them, some doctors will use acids to remove them. I think the best way to treat these is the method that we use, which is removing them with a simple blade. This is one of the blades that we'll use. It's like a 15 blade. And you can actually use, some doctors will use a eye surgical blade like this. So ultimately, we'll use this to core the lesion out. Now remember, that plug that we took out has some cells that are still there, so it may come back. And so what happens is every time you debride these, every time we see each other, it'll get smaller and smaller, eventually it won't come back.
And in honesty with everyone, Joni's not only a producer on our show, she is producing this particular show. So how is it now, though, Joni?
It's great. I mean, you can tell where you took it out. But
yeah, there's
can I show everyone?
Yeah, absolutely. Here, let's take a look. So what you
How
can,
do you want me to do it?
Yeah, we'll hold it up like this, and we'll
Brush
get
off the-
So what you can see is the little areas that I took, and actually this one has a little speck of blood in it, which is okay, because that'll go away. And these will probably fill in again over time, but less so than last time. So the idea is that it's almost like an onion skin process, where we're removing it slowly and eventually comes off.
Joni, thank you for sharing your story with us. Pleasure as always.
Thank you.
Great job. Coming up, we're covering new developments in breast reconstruction after a mastectomy, plus a warning about canned foods that you can't afford to miss.
One of my 4 sisters, Mimi, last year passed away from a 7-year battle with ovarian cancer. I made the choice to take the more aggressive approach.
Closed captioning provided by...
Alrighty, it's on my Paul Beckman Pub song. So although I'm recording an hour length of the doctors for myself, I'm also trying to create a record of it by capturing it, recording it, taking it, and putting it on YouTube, along with an oral commentary by me about the health tips, which is great knowledge to have shared with humanity. And I'm trying to reiterate the health tips for my own self, since I have a slight touch of autism. It's about the only way I can remember things better is to reiterate them into my mind. And so hopefully in that process that will help you too. So this is essentially an oral commentary about the doctors via the health tips that I'll share. Okay, this song is going to be called Plugs. Not the kind you plug into an outlet. Using A minor C and E minor, created February 13th, 2012. It's Monday. Plugs, 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 plugs. You can get plugs on your feet. Sensitive places that make you go eek, 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 eek. And then doctors have to remove them or something like that, so you feel more comfortable. So it doesn't feel like a rocker in your shoe, you know. Often because I'm wearing high heels, we're not susceptible to things like that. You're not exempt of that. If you get them in your feet, they can wreck your walking experience. So you don't want
disability. If you've been denied your Social Security disability, call 1-800-LAWYERS. The call is free. The advice is free.